So it's starting to get pretty clear, guys. Nvidia's getting ready to release some really powerful graphics cards this fall, and I think this is much thanks to Big Navi and perhaps even the upcoming consoles. And as a result of this competition we're seeing right now, we will for the first time see a brand new graphics card being introduced this fall alongside the RTX 3080 Ti. Let me present to you the RTX 3090, and boy, this graphics card is going to be powerful. We're looking at 24 gigs of GDDR6 memory with so much performance. More specifically, according to rumors, it could be up to 70% faster stand against Nvidia Turing. Now, some people think this card could replace the RTX Titan. I, however, find this a bit unlikely. No, I believe that the RTX 3090 is Nvidia's answer to Big Navi. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, we have to talk a little bit more about the leaked cooler, because it turns out we actually got some very exciting new details. First, I just want to say, for those calling the leaked image fake, Igor Wolasek and Igor's lab have actually heard through inside sources that Nvidia has apparently announced an internal investigation around the guy who leaked the photo, which essentially confirms the authenticity of the leaked image. So I think we can debunk this being, fake at this point. Shortly after the leaked photo, what is said to be the upcoming RTX 3080 was made public. Several very talented enthusiasts have made up some detailed 3D models showing the somewhat unusual looking card from several different angles, I should say. And honestly, guys, I want to know, what do you think about this new design? Anyway, if these beautiful looking 3D rendered photos wasn't enough, we actually do have some new info coming from Igor's lab suggesting that the cost of the cooler could be pretty expensive. According to Wolasek, the cooler could cost up to $150 and this is much because of the materials being used here and the complex design, the original board design and etc, which apparently adds up pretty quickly. Furthermore, according to Igor, Nvidia is working on at least 3 graphics cards based on this irregular board, which is apparently called PG132, and this leak is actually an extension of Copilot 7 Kimi's older rumors. Now, the difference between the cards would be memory configurations and board power, so essentially Nvidia could use the same board for not just the 3090 configuration but also for the 3080 configs or SKUs, and this makes it possible for Nvidia to use the same cooler on not just 1 but for 3 cards in total. Now, as we can see, the RTX 3090, said to be the flagship, could have a power draw of 350 watts, and this means that the cooler has to be pretty efficient. Now, speaking of the RTX 3090 Ti, it seems to be getting 24GB of GDDR6X memory on a 384-bit memory bus, and again tapping out at a whopping 350 watts. Looking at the other cards, the 3080 Super and the 3080 Ti takes a step down to 11GB, where the 3080 takes another step down in memory. And again, this whole leak is coming from Wolasek, but the leak doesn't stop here, guys. Well, it turns out Copilot 7 Kimi has been quite active and leaking details around Nvidia Ampere in the past. He now shares even more details of the actual GPU we think will ship with the RTX 3080. Now, in case you haven't been following Ampere, Copilot was actually spot on the leaks around the A100 Ampere accelerator, and VideoCard has also picked up leaks from this user several times before, which ultimately tells me at least that this guy knows what he's talking about. That being said, guys, it is still worth pointing out that none of this is set in stone before Nvidia makes it official, but until it's official, I think we should listen to this guy. That all said, we know from the past Nvidia is not unfamiliar to make last minute changes. We actually seen plenty of evidence of specs of Nvidia's Ampere GPU lineup changing from one day to another, where one rumor pointing to upcoming RTX 3080 would ship with a GA102 GPU, and other rumors suggesting GA103 being used. So take all of these rumors with a grain of salt. Anyway, guys, turns out Copilot 7 Kimi tweeted that the upcoming RTX 3080 will ship with a GA102-200 GPU. That's a total of 4,352 CUDA cores and 10 gigs of VRAM, which should be said goes right in line with Igor Wolasek's leak. This would ultimately give the 3080 at least 15 teraflops of graphics horsepower, but possibly even more. Remember, guys, this is a new architecture, it's got a lot more power than Turing, many more transistors, and it is also much much better power efficient, which ultimately should give Nvidia the option to rev up the clock speeds, and this should give us even more performance. Anyway, according to Copilot, we're looking at a core clock speed of 1.75 GHz, which Nvidia has easily achieved in the past. Now, once we take this new process node into consideration, we got a new architecture, we got faster memory this time, we got higher clock speeds, etc. We can draw the conclusion pretty fast that this is going to be an insane graphics card. Now, all the leaks in the past, guys, have indicated that the RTX 3080 would have a GA104 core, while later on we also saw leaks of a GA103 core. This, to me, make it seem like Nvidia doesn't have a clue what GPU to go with and how much power they need to actually stay on top, which makes me wonder, and I want to ask you guys this: is Nvidia perhaps afraid that the upcoming console launch promises silky smooth ray tracing at 4K could possibly steal the performance crown, or is it maybe Big Navi that keeps them up at night? Now, initially, I don't think Nvidia saw Navi 2X or RDNA 2 as a big threat, but once they saw what the Series X and the PS5 was capable of, they simply had to rethink the RTX 3000. Anyway, guys, that is just my thoughts. As for pricing, we know that an RTX 2080 with around 10 teraflops is selling for approximately $699 US. Whether Nvidia decides to keep the pricing the same or not remains to be seen, but if the upcoming RTX 3080 keeps the $699 price tag, well, that would mean 50% more power at the same price essentially. Honestly, I'm gonna leave this to you guys. What do you think? In the meantime, watch either of these two videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.